changes. We're always doing something new, but this is something that we had to do this, and we've had to do this for a while. So this new channel, it's really not much different, except the channel will be different. So all our new content is going on the channel, and we're going to migrate all our videos over to that channel as well, and we won't be using the old channel. So if you're waiting on that channel, you'll be missing it. So please do subscribe to our new channel, and it's real easy. Follow us on Facebook, thevoiceofstockton.org. You can find us everywhere. Keep watching us on our live streams. The views and opinions expressed in the following program do not necessarily reflect those of KXVS, the Voice of Stockton, or its parents, affiliates, management, and staff.
This broadcast will start in 60 seconds. This broadcast will start in 45 seconds. This broadcast will start in 30 seconds. This broadcast will start in 15 seconds. This broadcast will start in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The Voice of Stockton. For more information on The Voice of Stockton, go to thevoiceofstockton.org.
The views and opinions expressed in the following program do not necessarily reflect those of KXVS, the Voice of Stockton, or its parents, affiliates, management, and staff.
Hello and welcome to True Talk with Christina, where we dispel myths about housing, real estate, mortgages, and finances so you can make the most powerful choices for yourself, your family, and the legacy you leave. My name is Christina Kimball, and I am a California mortgage and real estate professional, licensed since 2012, serving our clients and team here in the Central Valley. Today, we are revisiting a topic and sharing about an open community meeting where you can learn more. That's one part of the show. Before we get to that, we're going to bust a myth when it comes to FHA home loans. Commonly thought of as first-time homebuyer loans, but what is the truth when it comes to FHA loans? We're going to bust a myth, and we're going to talk about that. But of course, before we dive in, I have my legal and compliance disclaimers to read, and then I will give you an update on the real estate market, and then we'll dive into that myth busting and then the community event that I hope that you will take part of. Edge Home Finance Corporation is licensed by the Department of Business Oversight under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act, NMLS 891464, and my personal NMLS 1484144. We support equal housing opportunity. You can get more information about mortgages on our website at edgehomefinancecv for the Central Valley.com. Or you can call for more information at 855-428-8554. I'm licensed to help my clients buy, sell, and invest in real estate at Volent Real Estate through the California Department of Real Estate, license number 019-12461. You can visit my website for more information about me and homes for sale at ChristinaKimball.com, or feel free to call or text me at 209-425-4229 with questions about the real estate market, or if you have a show topic idea to submit. True Talk with Christina is live at 1:05 p.m. every Tuesday right here on KXVS, the Voice of Stockton. Currently, you can watch KXVS on social media through live streams on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope. Like what you hear, consider becoming a supporting member of our station. You can learn more at kxvs.org. According to our local MLS Metro list, in the Stockton real estate market, as of 9/10 this morning, there are 679 single-family homes for sale. And the last time I gave you some statistics were 2 weeks ago, so everything that I'm sharing as far as up or down, increase or decrease, is from 2 weeks ago for the most part. So there are currently 679 single-family homes. That is up 60 from 2 weeks ago. So we're seeing more homes hit the market. There are 452 single-family homes pending sale, meaning that they've gone into escrow. That is 57 fewer pending homes than 2 weeks ago. So we've got more homes on the market. We're a little bit slower on catching up with the pace as far as what is selling. Since Tuesday of just last week, 70 single-family homes have sold in Stockton, and that means they've closed escrow, and the new owners have been recorded with the county. So let's move over to San Joaquin County real estate market, and you get a bigger picture that way. There are 1,299 single-family homes currently for sale, and that is 73 more than 2 weeks ago. There are 934 single-family homes pending sale, and that is 57 less than 2 weeks ago. There are 148 single-family homes sold in San Joaquin County since Tuesday of last week. So now let's go into the mortgage mythbuster of the week. And we're gonna sit here for a minute. I'm gonna bust the myth and then talk a little bit more about FHA loans. And specifically, what I'm going to talk about is busting a myth about credit scores. There's a whole lot of misinformation out there when it comes to credit scores and home loans. There probably is about other types of loans, but obviously I'm a loan officer. I'm gonna focus on the mortgage aspect. So in our last show, we busted a myth about how much you really need for a down payment. And I just wanted to reiterate that again because it is so prevalent. So many people think you need 20% down to be able to buy a home, and that's just not the case. You can purchase a home with 10% down, with 5% down, with 3% down. We have several programs that are just 3% down, 3.5% down if you want to go back up just a little bit, which is typical FHA. That's the minimum down payment is 3.5%. However, there are some loan programs that are available with 0% down, and that would be, you're looking at your FA loan programs, your USDA loan programs, and then of course there's down payment assistance that can equal out to 0 down, but that doesn't mean 0 cost for the home loan. So today's myth busting is about credit scores. And the myth is that you need a really great credit score in order to purchase a home. That is not true. Nope, not a nope. Not true at all. So it's false. And another myth kind of related to that is that your score needs to be 680 or above. Nope, not true, not a false. Not as nothing. It's not no. I don't know why I said that. So another assumption also is that your score needs to be 620. Now that comes from the conventional mortgage. I believe that that's where that's come from. That came from. 620 is the minimum credit score needed for a conventional loan. However, that's not the only type of loan available. We also have FHA. There are plenty of other loan programs as well. But let's sit here with FHA a little bit. And if you have any questions, I am monitoring Facebook, our live stream on Facebook, on the KXVS, the Voice of Stockton page. So feel free to go there, post a question. If I don't get back to it, I'll get a hold of you and get you an answer later. So the truth is that through an FHA loan, you can still qualify for as low as, and I don't know if you can hear, I'm doing a drum roll. I don't know if that comes through on the mic. Maybe I should hit the mic, but that would just be an annoying sound, so I won't do that. As little as no credit score. That's right, no credit score. You can have no credit score and still possibly qualify for an FHA loan. Now, that's not the same as like a 5 credit score. I'm talking about no credit score, 0, zip, zilch, nada. I can say nada that time. So when we look at actual numbers, not none, but an actual number, you're going to be looking at mostly 500 to 550 credit scores. That's how low it could possibly be and still qualify for an FHA loan. Some lenders will not go below 580. They're not comfortable with the risk because the lower the credit score, typically the higher the risk for the lender, for the investor, for the person putting out this money, hundreds of thousands of dollars for you to be able to purchase a home. They're not comfortable going too low on the credit score because that equals greater risk. So 500 to 550, depending on the lender that you go through. Again, a lot of lenders will tell you you cannot purchase a home. You cannot qualify for a loan if your score is less than 580, some less than 620 or 640. However, what's the truth? The truth is that particular lender. That's not an FHA guideline. So typically FHA, sorry, this is a little tight here around my neck. FHA, most people do FHA loans. They're looking at putting less money down. The mortgage insurance typically tends to be a little bit lower as well, meaning the overall monthly payment would be lower if you're putting that little bit of money down, just 3.5%. It's going to still be lower than if you're using, for example, a conventional loan program, because the mortgage insurance is higher on that side for that little bit of money down. So there is a caveat that I want to make sure. I'm looking down at my notes. I want to make sure I cover everything that I wanted to cover today in the FHA loan program when we're talking about credit scores. So there is a caveat. The credit score below a 580 typically will have a minimum of 10% down. Now, I was looking at one of the loan programs earlier this morning to make sure I had all my numbers correct for the show. And we do have a lender, it appears they will do less than 10% down. Most people will not do that, and they will require a 10% down payment. So the minimum for an FHA loan is 3.5% down. However, with the credit score coming down, that down payment is going to need to be a little bit higher. Here's the thing. There's another caveat for that. If you have no credit score, not just zero, but you have no credit score at all, you do have to, not all lenders will allow this, but several will. If you have no credit score whatsoever, you can use alternative credit, and they will treat you, some will treat you as if you have a 620 credit score. So what is alternative credit? It could be bills that you've paid consistently for a year or 2 years, however long they're going to ask you for. It could be not a credit card bill. You have no credit score. I keep wanting to say credit. Your cell phone bill, for example. Possibly it could be rent. There's different things that we can look at and consider. We need usually 3 forms of this alternative credit if you have a 0 credit score. So who is that good for? Those are for people who don't like credit at all. They don't take out credit. They don't have a credit card. They've never gotten a loan for anything. They saved their money and they purchased a car, so they don't have a car payment either. Never had a car payment. So if you don't do things that involve credit, it's not going to trigger a credit score for you. So alternative credit, again, it would be other bills that you're paying that we can use showing, hey, this person is responsible financially and they do make their payments for their obligations. Utility bills is another one. So there is the opportunity with that. Even though it's no score, you can still possibly qualify for an FHA loan with only 3.5% down. So it's a really great program, and for FHA, I mean, that if you don't have the best credit score, because again, conventional, the minimum is 620. FHA, we can go as low as 500. A little more down though. When you're looking under 550, possibly 580, you'll need 10% down as opposed to the 3.5% down. So it's very important to know while you're working on saving your money, you want to look at your credit score. So what should you be doing? I'm going to use 2 hands here. Over here, you need to save your money. If you have no credit over here, or I'm sorry, really low credit on this hand, you want to work on getting your credit improving your credit so that you can qualify for a home loan. So we do have programs that are called down payment assistance programs. Some of those will give you money towards your down payment. Some of them will loan you money for your down payment. So there's a loan type of gift or down payment assistance, and there's a gift type of down payment assistance. The gift does not have to be paid back. The loan does. And often it's once the loan's paid off or you refinance later, that is a second loan that would need to be paid back. If you're using down payment assistance, different lenders have different requirements when it comes to the credit score. We have loan programs that do not have an extra requirement. They're called overlays. So if you ever to talk to someone in the real estate or mortgage industry, more so the mortgage industry, you may hear the term overlays. That is, here's the guidelines. I'm a lender not comfortable with that much risk, so I'm going to lay another requirement on top of that, and it's called an overlay. So minimum typically for down payment assistance is a 620 credit score. And it can be with an FHA program, which we just talked about. You can secure an FHA loan with as little a credit score as low as 500, 550, 580. Those are different numbers we've talked about. However, if you're going to use down payment assistance, your minimum credit score typically needs to be a 620. So if you have any questions or concerns about that, you want to talk to your loan officer, feel free to reach out to me. I've given you my number, my cell phone number again. If you can call or text me. My number is 209-425-4229. You can also send me a message on Facebook or through social media. And if you send it to the station, I'm sure they'll make sure that I get that. So I've talked about a lot of different numbers, and it can get confusing. It's okay. You don't have to remember it all. You can reach out to a loan officer. You can reach out to us at Edge Home Finance. Oh my goodness. I think I need to grab a water. Hold on one quick second. Okay, I'm back. So there are a lot of numbers, and there are a lot of different things to look at when it comes to getting a home loan. Now I'm going to get a drink of that water. FHA is one of the better loan programs for first-time home buyers because one of what we talked about, that you can have a lower credit score and still have the ability to qualify for a home loan. It is also good when it comes to the mortgage insurance. If you're putting less than 20% down on a loan, mortgage insurance is going to kick in. Here's the thing on FHA. It used to be that if you put 20% or more down on that FHA loan, you would not have mortgage insurance. However, that is not the case any longer. With an FHA loan, even if you put 20% down, you will still have mortgage insurance. And that is an extra little payment. It's not a payment, but an extra dollar amount that is on top of your regular loan. Then you've got the mortgage insurance payment. It's all one payment, but it's that dollar amount you'll be paying that goes towards mortgage insurance. So that is important to know. So that's another myth busted. So myth number one, you need a great credit score to qualify for a home loan. Not the case. With FHA, you can go as low as 500, even 0 credit score, and we use alternative credit. Second myth, mortgage insurance goes away as soon as you pay 20% of that mortgage, 20% of the value of the home compared to the loan amount. There's a 20% difference. Not true with FHA any longer. You will still have that mortgage insurance on there. Very important. So how do you get rid of the mortgage insurance then? Let's say your equity goes way up, your loan amount goes down, and you've got this big gap. That's the equity, the difference between what you owe and what the home is worth. So if you've got 20, 25, 30, 40% gap in there, so you know you don't need to be paying mortgage insurance. However, you have an FHA loan, you just got it, let's say in the last year, you put a lot down and you realized, hey, why do I have this mortgage insurance on there? Why isn't it going away? And maybe during the last year, you've been working on your credit. That's the other hand, right? We're saving money, we're working on our credit. Your credit score has gotten better. So now what you could look at is refinancing out of that FHA loan into a conventional loan where once you have that 20% equity gap, we can get rid of that mortgage insurance, whether it's us or another lender. So very important to know, mortgage insurance does not go away on an FHA loan any longer, even if you had 20, 30, 40, 50, 60% equity in your home. Again, equity is the difference between what you owe and what your home is worth. So that's very, very important if you have an FHA loan. If you're not sure where you fall in that, reach out to your lender, whoever it is, or where you obtained your loan. Or if you have questions, you can feel free to give us a call as well. And we can look at your scenario, your specific situation, and see, is there an opportunity to remove that mortgage insurance, which could lower your monthly payment. The other thing that affects your monthly payment is your interest rate. So if your interest rate, if we were to refinance and your interest rate would be quite a bit higher, maybe the mortgage insurance would go off, but your payment could still go up because your interest rate would be higher. So there's a lot of things to look at. Again, you don't have to worry about these numbers. Let the mortgage professional do that for you. So one of the things, I'm looking at my notes here. Oh, one of the things that I want to point out is that not all lenders have the FHA loan products that will allow you to purchase with a score below 580 or below 620. Remember when I talked about overlays? They have an additional requirement over what FHA is saying is allowable. They're not comfortable with that risk, so boom, we're putting an overlay on that, an additional guideline. So if you've been turned down for a mortgage before, whether it's in the last year, the last 5 years, maybe longer, and you just feel like renting, you're stuck renting. There's nothing that can be done and you're stuck being a renter. Renting is not always a bad thing. So you really want to look at your situation, your life goals, how long you want to stay in a certain location. Sometimes renting is the best thing. I'll give you an example. A few years ago, my husband and I were seriously considering moving out of state. We were looking at Idaho, where my sister and her family lives, and we were looking at Oregon because we love the Portland area. We love the coast up there and all the outdoor activities. We love the green and the trees and the water. We've got water here in San Joaquin County, though. We've got the Delta. So we were thinking about moving out of state. So we sold our home. We sold our home, took advantage of the equity, paid off our debts, and we rented. Because if we were going to move out of state, we thought, okay, let's rent because it's easier to move. We know we're only going to be here maybe a year, and it's easier to get up and go without having to sell a property. So we sold our home and rented. In that instance, renting was perfect for us. We sold our home, took advantage of the equity. Then guess what? We didn't move. We're still here. So we bought a home again, just over, actually we're coming up on 2 years. Wow, time goes by so fast. So we purchased another home. We're staying here in Stockton, and owning makes sense. It didn't make sense to rent. When we realized we're not moving, we're staying here, we started looking. And we put down roots. We got that stability and security that comes from owning a home, and we're very happy. So if you were told before you couldn't qualify for a loan, and you've heard about these first-time home buyer programs, you've heard about FHA loans, you've heard about low money down, revisit that again. Because if one lender told you no, It could possibly be no for right now, and there's some things to work on. However, if it was a credit score issue, reach out to another lender. They're not all created equal, so to speak. For example, we moved our mortgage business from a direct lender to becoming mortgage brokers because we have access to way more loan programs. We have loan programs that don't have those extra overlays on them, right? So we can help more people buy homes than we could before. We can, with the FHA program, provide somebody a loan that has no credit score. We can provide a loan for someone who has a 500 credit score. But remember, FHA is 3.5% down. But when you get to those lower credit scores, the FHA is going to require, and the lender is going to require 10% down. The only difference is, I know it sounds like I'm talking in circles. That's why I'm repeating this, because it can be a little hard to follow. If you're under 580, you can still possibly qualify for a home loan, which means you could stop renting and you could become a home owner. So don't let your credit score stop you. I encourage you not to let your credit score stop you. Also, if you check your credit score on those online websites, for example, like Credit Karma and places like that, sometimes your bank will give you access to your credit score. That is a different credit scoring model than what we use in the mortgage industry. So when we run your credit, it's not going to be the same score as what you're seeing on these sites. Sometimes it's better. Sometimes it could be a little bit worse. Sometimes it's a little bit of difference. Sometimes it's a huge difference. So I want to make sure I talk about that today because I want to give you hope. If you were turned down before, it is possible that you could qualify for an FHA loan when you talk to a different lender. For example, like I said, we're mortgage brokers. So we have the loan programs that don't have those extra requirements. Maybe you've met someone in the last year who you know, like, and trust, who is a mortgage broker as well, or who has an FHA loan program that doesn't have lender applied overlays on them, and you could qualify to purchase a home. Maybe you've been saving your money and you have $15,000, $20,000 saved for your down payment and closing costs. It is possible that you could purchase a home this month. You could go into escrow this month using an FHA loan program. So I really want to encourage you, if you were turned down before and maybe you think your score is in the 500s and you have some money saved, I encourage you to take another look, reach out to someone. You can give us a call. You can visit our website. Our phone number again is 855-428-8554. Our website is edgehomefinancecv.com, and you can look at some information there as well. So super important. I just feel like everybody needs to know what their options are and not just rely. Here's how mortgage companies work, whether you're going to a bank to apply for a mortgage or you went to a lender directly, a loan officer to apply for a mortgage. If they're not mortgage brokers, their loan programs fit into a box, a predefined box. The mortgage broker doesn't have to work within one box. We've got lots of boxes. Hey, that almost looks like a dance move. If you're watching me and not just hearing me, we have lots of different boxes. We don't just have one box because we can access all the different not all the different lenders, but multiple. I think we have like 30 different lenders and all their different loan programs we can work through. So that the bottom line is, if you were turned down before, I encourage you to take another look. If you thought that you needed a great credit score in order to qualify for a home loan, I encourage you to take another look. There's possibility that you could become a home owner. Now, what if you're young? What if you're 20 years old, 21 years old, you're 22, 23, you're just getting started working, you haven't done a lot of things? Could you qualify for a home? It's possible. I have pre-approved 21, 22, 23-year-olds. So you don't have to let your age stop you from achieving a dream of home ownership. This is not just for old people. It's not just for middle-aged people. It's for anybody who can legally sign a contract, has good credit or decent credit, has some money saved, maybe not a ton. There are advanced costs. There are things to pay for. So I encourage you to reach out. If you know a real estate or mortgage professional, reach out to them and see what can you do right now. And perhaps, I don't like the word no. I prefer not right now, because there are things you can do to position yourself. No matter what it is, at some point, you should be able to purchase a home if you have a plan. What is that plan? Maybe it's working on your credit. Maybe it's saving some money. Maybe you get a second job so that you've got an extra little flow of money and you just put that away. You just save that money, whether you're 20 or 80. It doesn't matter. You can do this. I really want to encourage you to cast off the doubt, cast off the fear, and really get a plan in place so that you can purchase a home and have that stability and security for yourself and for your family, if you have a family, for your loved ones, for the, oh my goodness, there's a word I was trying to think of right then. For when you pass away and you're no longer here, the inheritance, that's the word I was going for, the inheritance that you leave for others. Home ownership is a way to build that wealth, leave a legacy. That would be a financial legacy. Teach others how to become homeowners, bring that stability to their lives and to the community. So again, credit score, you could have no credit score. If you're young, what can you do? You might be saying, Christina, I just graduated high school. I never thought about buying a home at my age. What can I do as an 18-year-old to get ready to buy a home? I like the sound of that FHA loan program. I like that my credit score doesn't have to be super high. And I like that I can put less money down so it won't take me as long to save to be able to buy that home. So Christina, at 18 years old, what can I do to get ready to buy a home? I'm so glad you asked. That's a fantastic question. Feeling a little schizophrenic right now, but it's just role playing, right? It's role playing. So as an 18-year-old, 19, 20-year-old, as a younger person, you could be 30 and maybe you never even thought about buying a home. What can you do right now? 1, save your money. It could be looked at as a sacrifice now to put some money aside and not spend it, to not go to that game, to not go out to that meal, to not go to that movie, to not go on that trip or vacation, to not put that money in the gas tank to go somewhere. Save as much as you can, and you'll see that savings account grow. But know that when you're putting that money in the bank, what is it going for? I am depositing into my future. I am depositing into my future permanent place to live. Not that you have to stay there forever, but getting that ownership of real estate, holding on to it for a while. You could actually be a landlord at a very young age. Maybe it's not somewhere you want to stay permanently, but you see a good deal on a home. You decide to buy it. You could become a landlord. You could work with a property manager. You don't have to worry about that you've got to manage this yourselves. There are people who can help you. So imagine that, a 23-year-old buying their first property. They don't even live in it. They're a real estate investor at a young age. It's possible. You can do it. I actually read about, this was a few years ago. I'm trying to remember where I read that, but there was a young man. He was younger. I think he was like 16 years old, purchased a home, and he was a real estate investor. How cool is that? So I encourage you to open your mind a little bit, expand your thinking. Think outside this little box that we often get put into and what's possible. Anything is possible. You could become a real estate investor at a young age or an older age. Doesn't matter. It starts with saving money. It starts with utilizing that self-control. I have enough self-control that if somebody told me to jump off a bridge, I would not do it. Therefore, I have enough self-control to save that money and deposit into an account to save for my future. So as an 18-year-old, you have self-control, you have dreams, you have visions, you have desires. You can funnel that into such a way that you can start working toward building your wealth through real estate. It does not matter of your age. A 6-year-old, a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, any age can start saving money and knowing that one day, could be in the very, very near future, home ownership, a purchase contract is going to be signed. An escrow process is going to be gone through, and home ownership is going to be on the other side of that. So no matter where you are, no matter what your age is, home ownership can be in your future. I'm looking down an invisible path right here. Building wealth through real estate could be in your future. Buying a home of your own to live in could be in your future. And then there could be a second one. There could be a third one. Most people stop with that first home. You do not have to. Where in the world does it say you can only own one home? Nowhere. Nowhere does it say that. So again, let's get outside that box. Okay, so 1 is saving money. 2, start looking at real estate websites, not the ones you see advertised on TV. Connect with a real estate agent and look at their website. This is what I recommend, not the other ones, because often the information on them is inaccurate, including when you start seeing home values. So I encourage you to get with a licensed real estate professional, not somebody who dabbles in it, but somebody who's doing this as a career, as a profession, as a business. Go to their website, download their mobile app, and start looking at properties. Even if you're 16, even if you're 15 or 14, it doesn't matter. What does this do for you? You start getting a good idea of what homes sell for. You start getting an idea of different areas you might like to purchase in. So once you've identified an area, okay, how much do homes sell for in that area? And if you start really young, you're going to start noticing a trend. Okay, home prices are increasing right now. Oh, okay, home prices are going down. Okay, homes are sitting on the market a little bit longer, which means I can probably get a better deal right now, because if they're not selling, right? It's not to the seller's advantage that homes are sitting on the market. It's a little more to the buyer's advantage. When there are a lot of homes for sale, that's going to make a difference on the deal that you can get on a home. When there are fewer homes for sale, that's going to make a big difference. As a buyer, you're probably going to be paying a lot more. As a seller, you're probably going to be making a lot more the fewer the homes are on the market. So the sooner you start looking, even if you think, hey, Christina, I'm not going to buy for 5 years. That's okay. That's okay. Connect with a real estate agent, whether it's me or somebody else. Someone else you know, like, and trust. Hopefully you know, like, and trust me since you're watching me. But start looking at their website, use their mobile app, and start looking at properties. Drive through areas and see which ones you like. So first, you're saving money. 2, start looking at homes for sale. 3, take a look at your credit and see where is your credit score right now. Remember, not on Credit Karma or what your bank is offering you for free. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with those. However, when it comes to a mortgage, those are not the credit scores we're using. It's different risk criteria. So if you're 16 and you're not able to purchase a home right now, we're not going to be able to pull your credit. However, if you're older, you could go through the pre-approval process, see what you could qualify for right now, and maybe it's not what you're comfortable qualifying for. But at least then you'll have a real path of steps to take to get you in the right direction, as opposed to thinking, I'm not saying you aren't smart. You could be one of the smartest people in the world. You could be so wise. However, if you don't have the correct knowledge when it comes to mortgages, you could be taking steps that actually keep you back, that hold you back from on that path of homeownership. It's like trying to go forward with your foot on the brakes. Not a good idea. You're really not going to get far that way. So that's what we're here for, is to help you through that process. So again, with FHA, commonly used by first-time home buyers. Do you have to use an FHA loan when you're a first-time home buyer? No, you do not. You can use a conventional loan. If you're buying a large dollar amount, perhaps now you're looking in the jumbo range. You're not confined to one specific loan program. It's just one that is commonly used for first-time home buyers because you only need 3.5% down. There are other loan programs that allow you to purchase with 3% down. So you don't have to put yourself in the box. I just really want to make sure everybody really understands that and gets that. Get out of the box. Don't put yourself in the box, and certainly don't close the lid on yourself. Go ahead and step out. Find out the truth. Know you need to save some money. Know that your credit score needs to be on FHA minimum as far as numbers go, 500, 550. A lot of lenders won't go lower. Mortgage brokers like us, we have the ability to go down to that 500 score, as well as no credit score at all. There is the opportunity to purchase a home using FHA, the FHA loan program, with those scores, or no score using alternative credit. So there are options, and that's why I'm doing this show. That is why this is True Talk with Christina. There's so much misinformation out there. There's so much untruths. Get the truth, ignore what's false, and move forward with the facts, the right information. Do you want to own a home? Hopefully, yeah. Do you want to be a real estate investor? I think it's a great opportunity. It's another way to build a legacy that you leave behind. So there are a lot of opportunities, whether it's commercial, it could be residential. Maybe you own homes. I remember hearing this story years ago. I was at a real estate conference. Actually, this is probably 10 to 15 years ago. And one of the ways that a lot of people don't think of when they think of real estate, how can you make money with real estate? And it's not that you're trying to be greedy, because a lot of people, when they hear that, they think, well, I'm not greedy. I'm not trying to make money. Well, we do need money for things. And perhaps if you looked at it a little bit differently, maybe it's creating an opportunity for someone else because you took that step to invest. What if you purchased a home and it became a board and care home? What if you purchased a building and you had great tenants? You provided safe living conditions for them because you knew that when you grew up, just as an example, that in the apartment complex you lived in, it wasn't taken care of, or the home you lived in, it wasn't cared for. Water was leaking, ceilings had holes in them, and they were infested with pests. So you can provide a safe place. You can do something different by becoming a fantastic landlord. And again, you don't have to be the landlord as far as the day-to-day management. You can hire a property management company, and it's really not that expensive at all. It's actually very affordable. So it's a great way to become an investor, make a difference in your community by being a great landlord, and hiring a property management company who can take care of the day-to-day details according to what you've agreed to. So there's a lot of stress that can be relieved from owning property by using a property management company when you're leasing it out, renting it out. So what if it was a board and care home? What if it was transitional housing? Maybe you bought a property and you're working with a nonprofit organization to provide housing, whether they're transitioning from homelessness or they're transitioning back into society from being incarcerated. Or perhaps, what if it's a veteran transition facility for those who are coming back from serving their country and they need some place to stay that is safe, where people understand what they've gone through, and maybe not from personal experience, but you have sympathy and compassion, and you want to help them transition back into civilian life, because that is not an easy transition to make. So there's all different kinds of ways you can look at real estate. It doesn't just have to be that you're renting to an individual or a family. It doesn't have to be that you're renting to college students. It doesn't have to be that you're buying a home that you want to live in. Perhaps you want to travel. Fantastic. You could still build wealth and create opportunities for others by purchasing real estate. So hopefully that kind of gave you some different ideas and different ways to look at things. FHA is a great program There's a lot of misinformation out there, and hopefully what I've shared has helped dispel those myths and given you a little hope so that you can move closer towards home ownership, specifically when it comes to the FHA loan. Plenty of other loan programs out there. I just wanted to talk a little bit specifically about FHA today, just to help dispel some myths about credit scores, about mortgage insurance, and down payment options. I can't believe time's gone by so fast. So, and hi, Connie. I see that you're on there on the live stream. I want to share real quickly before I end about revisiting a topic that a few shows ago I had a special guest here, Tony Alopre from Family Promise. And on Thursday, September 6th, there's a general meeting at 7 p.m. and it is taking place at First Presbyterian Church in Stockton. The address is 31 East Vine Street. And this is a general meeting. It is a community meeting. It's open to the public. And this is an opportunity to come and learn more about Family Promise. We're having a special speaker, and I say we because I'm involved with the organization. And the speaker is Marcia Spell, and she's the executive director of Family Promise of Sacramento. So we're working to get Family Promise here in San Joaquin County. We are already surrounded by two, one in Sacramento and one in Modesto. And what is Family Promise? Great question. Thanks for asking. Family Promise is an interfaith organization. So there are congregations. Beliefs don't matter, denominations don't matter, faiths don't matter. It is people coming together to serve people. It is to come alongside and support families who are homeless and help them transition to a permanent housing, providing services like helping them find a job, obviously helping them find housing, getting a resume together if they need help with that, obtaining health care if they need help with that. So they have a place to stay for 30 to 60 days where meals are provided, beds are provided, so safe place so they can really focus on doing what they need to do to transition their family out of being homeless. So we're going to talk about at the general meeting where we are in the process, how far we've come, which it's a fantastic opportunity to get involved with, which is why I had to jump in. My husband and I are both involved with Family Promise of San Joaquin. So again, that general meeting is Thursday, September 6th at 7 p.m. at First Presbyterian Church, located at 31 East Vine Street in Stockton. So if you have a heart for helping others, I encourage you to attend. If you know people who like supporting those who are homeless and help them get on their feet, I encourage you to invite them to attend. You can find the Facebook page at facebook.com/Family Promise SJC for San Joaquin County. So again, that's facebook.com/Family Promise SJC. Oh, and one more thing. I got to remember to share the national holidays for today. I got my papers out of order here. Bear with me a second. Apparently I got them really out of order. Okay, so today is National Night Out. And of course you can celebrate that by finding one going on in your area. It's annually on the first Tuesday in August, which is today, National Night Out. It is also Purple Heart Day. It's National Lighthouse Day and National Raspberries and Cream Day. So if you like raspberries, it's a good time to go out and enjoy some raspberries and cream, whether it's in the form of cake, ice cream, or raspberries with a little cream. Thanks again for joining me, everybody. My name is Christina Kimball. This is True Talk with Christina. We'll see you next Tuesday, 1:05 p.m. live here on KXVS, the Voice of Stockton. Have a great week.